The preparations, I think, have been progressive in that they already started a bit shaky in their opening matches, in their preparatory matches, but I think as time has progressed, they've been progressive as well. We've seen the team play much better coordinated football. We've seen a few improvements defensively. Yes, we are still conceding, but as far as the shape is concerned, we've seen a lot of improvements there. As always, the team has continued to score, which shows that we are not just improving on the defensive side, but we're also still taking care of the offensive side. And so overall, I think the team is in a good position to be able to enter the tournament and compete favorably. And luckily, we still have time between now and the time the tournament starts to fine-tune.
All right. Now, Franklin, Hezonali has been ruled out owing to injury. How much of a big blow is this to the team?
A huge blow. Look, she's been the first choice for a long time now, has held those goals for a long time. So obviously it is going to be a big blow, but I think the beauty is that that's why this is called a team sport. Ideally, you have someone of a similar ilk that can come in to cover the goals for Zambia. So it's not all doom and gloom because Catherine Msonda herself has had a number of times played. She even played in the win against Germany. She also had a taste of the action during the Olympics. So whichever way you want to look at it, yes, we have a loss, but on the other side, we have a similar player that can cover up. And so we are hoping that she recovers, in good time, obviously, not, in the time for the World Cup. But beyond that, we are hoping the best for her. But overall, Catherine to be able to take that slot, really.
All right. Who would you advise to travel to go and replace Nali? Which goalkeeper?
Well, that's a tricky one. But look, players are those that were in camp. I think there are two goalkeepers that were dropped from camp. So ideally, it could be any of those. It could also be anyone that has been part of the national team camp, maybe at a different time. But if it were me, I would basically get someone that has been in camp with the team for the time that they've been preparing. But like I said earlier on, I think when you look at our goalkeepers for the national team, they are basically of a similar ilk. The quality is pretty much the same, and so whoever comes in should surely be able to give a good account of themselves for whatever purpose they are brought in.
Right. Before we talk about Chipolopolo, Franklin, what do you think the Copper Queens should work on between now and the 22nd before they take on Japan?
Well, all aspects of the game really, but I think the Achilles heel for this team has always been the inability to defend, which has been both individual and also as a collective. One thing that we have failed to deal with really is that balls that come into the box, from other areas, especially the aerial balls. And I think if we are able to do that, then we should be fine in the tournament. Also, I think being able to keep the shape at the time when we are supposed to, because the way that the team plays usually plays with 4 at the back, 4 in the middle and 2 up top, but in reality it's actually 4 at the back and 2 in the middle. And I think we've always struggled with the numbers in the midfield. So if we're able to keep a shape that is compact enough, a shape that is able to prevent us from being suffering on a positive transition, then surely we should be able to hold our own. I have no doubt about this team's attacking prowess, the attacking qualities, but it's purely about how we handle ourselves off the ball, both individually and as a collective. If we're able to do that, then sure we should be going to the tournament with a good shout.
Right, let's talk about Chipolopolo now. So yesterday, they were confirmed as one of the teams to go to the semi-finals, and they'll be facing South Africa on Friday at 18 hours. So this was after Mauritius failed to beat Mozambique yesterday. Zambia up against South Africa. What's your take?
It's always a tricky one, regardless of the level at which they play. The South African team that is playing at this COSAFA is a very expressive side. They may not have scored much, but they're very expressive as far as moving the ball is concerned. On the other side, the Zambian team has struggled defensively. A lot of individual errors have cost the team, and that's what makes it an interesting one. Going forward, the Zambians have been able to score. So it's one of those spice ones, a tricky one, but I think it could be won by the team that will be more efficient in front of goal, a team that will use the ball more efficiently, and a team that, as much as possible, try and deny their opponents a lot of space in their scoring zones. And I think that's the team that could take that match.
Finally, Franklin, how far do you think this Chipolopolo side can go in this tournament?
They can go as far as they choose to go, really, by the efforts that they put in. But like I said, if we're able to get over South Africa, then surely we can get into the final as favorites. Look, there are teams that have started very poorly in tournaments and have gone on to win the tournaments. You could talk of Spain in the 2010 World Cup. You could talk about Argentina in the 2022 World Cup. And so Zambia might have started poorly, but surely if they're able to get over South Africa, then they could get into the final as favorites and be able to win the tournament and retain the trophy, really.
Thank you very much, Franklin, for joining us. That's Franklin Malambo